Awaken the Shadowman is honestly probably the biggest offender in all the movies I've seen so far. What I mean by that is that it's boring. It's not good. It's not bad. It's boring. Which is honestly one of the worst things you can be if you're a movie. A good movie, gets remembered for being good. Even a really bad movie will be remembered for being bad. A boring movie, you'll just have a 2 hour gap where that movie was and you can't quite remember what you did with your time. Um, I mean, this is like that type of movie where when you see it on the shelf or something like years later, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. Kinda. I don't remember what it's about, but I remember it. And then you rewatch it and you're like, oh, that's why I didn't remember it. It's one of those. Look, I'm not going to be shy about spoilers this time. Just a heads up, because nothing happens anyway. Okay. Um, like the basically the premise of this film revolves around this cult that kind of worships this entity where they sacrifice a child to it to improve things in like their own life or what have you. They supposedly have chapters all around the world, which is like a last minute addition, mind you. So I'm not at all convinced that they didn't throw that in there just to try to make this seem grander than it was. Um, the titular monster thing only appears like one or two times in the entire film. Uh, the, uh, the story itself starts with two brothers whose mom goes missing, and they try to find her, and it leads them to this cult, and then all. It's just the problem is nothing really happens. Like there's nothing even really scary in the movie itself. There are a couple of jump scare moments maybe, but even those aren't like fully committed to. There's like some creepy ambience, and that's about it. The music itself is a bit underwhelming. It's like that's what they rely on the most to try to be scary. You know, it just it's really not good. I mean, it's extremely forgettable. I'm actually forgetting the movie as I'm trying to talk about it here. And there are so many plot threads that are just kind of left dangling and twists that are like it's one of those things where it's like they don't make sense, but you fully expected them. You just had hoped that at some point they'd find a way to justify it, and they never do. Um, it's one of those kinds of movies. It's just really not that good. And then you find out that there was an AstroTurf campaign on like rating sites to try to drive the user rating up on the movie. And it's like, wow. Whole bunch of accounts just created out of nowhere and only reviewing Awaken the Shadowman. That's convenient. Just I mean, Cult of Chucky. Even I hated that movie. I did. It was insulting to my intelligence and everything. But at least it did so in a way that was like I don't know, proud of it, open about it. The movie didn't care. Like the movie didn't care, so I didn't care. So I mean, that's all I can say about that. But at least I remember it. Because it embraced it. This tried to be all super serious and mysterious, and it just no, it's not. It's really not. This is probably going to be my shortest review out of all of them, just because it's so bland and forgettable. Uh, my advice is just completely skip this one. Don't give it the time of day. Let it be forgotten. Hopefully, the people involved in it go on to make better things, and they can forget about it too. All right. So tomorrow night, Halloween, we will take a look at the monster, and that one, I think, is probably going to be a lot better than this. See ya.